Hi, welcome to Driving TV, and I hope you are well. This is my son, Afsar. He plays for a team, in a football team. And on Sundays, he has match. So we were on our way to his match, and we've just been told that the match is cancelled because of frost. So he won't be playing his match today. So we thought we use this time going home to do a video to help you. So in this video, I'm going to help you with a subject which many learners, they fail the test on. And the subject is meeting traffic. Okay? So now, meeting traffic, what is meeting traffic? Meeting traffic is where there is no space for two cars. And the reason, because maybe there are parked cars, maybe because there's roadworks, maybe because there is a bus, and because of that, the road becomes narrow. There's no space for two cars. I mean, here we have parked cars on both sides, but there are space for two cars. So this won't be meeting. Meeting is where the road becomes narrow and there's no space for two cars. How do you handle, how do you deal with those kind of roads? This is what we're going to cover in this video. Like here now, there's a car coming. We do have space for two cars, so this won't be meeting situation. There's parked car on the other side, but there's space for two cars. I'm talking about where there's no space for two cars. You are going and there's cars coming from the opposite. What do you do? Many learners, they fail in that subject because they keep pushing for the other car to stop. And this is where many learners, they fail the test. So here we're going to go right, mirror, mirror, signal right. Now here, the road, can you see? This is where the problem is. It has parked cars on both sides and there's no space for two cars. So if there's a car coming now from the opposite, what are you going to do? This is the problem for many learners. They keep pushing, okay? So what you have to do is you have to find a space on your side or on the opposite and use those space for you to go in or for them to go in. Left here, mirror, mirror, signal left. We go left here, another road here, again meeting situation. There's no one coming, so say there was somebody coming from the other side, what are we going to do? We're going to use those gaps. There's a gap on our side, there's a gap on the other side. If there was somebody coming now, we would go into the gap and wait for the other car, like here. So imagine there's a car coming, so we would stop, facing our nose out, and we wait, and then we wait for the other car. When the other car goes, mirror, mirror, and then we go. And that's how we give way to the oncoming traffic. We go right at the end, mirror, mirror, signal right. This is one subject many learners, they get confused, and many driving instructors don't cover this subject. So the learners are confused how to deal with this subject. We go right here, there's no one coming. There's no car coming. If there was, this would be a meeting situation. Now we have a car coming. This is a meeting situation. So what do? We wait here. We don't have to go into the gap because they already have a gap. They could go into that gap. If that gap wasn't there on the other side, we would have gone into our gap. Look at the mirrors and then we go. Every time we stop, before we go mirror, mirror, then we go. So Afsar, do you enjoy playing football?
Yeah, of course. I love playing football.
My son, he's a football man. Mirror, mirror, we're gonna go left here. He loves playing football. So every Friday he has his training. He plays for a team, by the way. And every Friday he has his trainings, and every Sunday he has his match. And I call him my Messi. He's my Messi. If somebody asks me, who's your best football player? I will say it's my son. Because for me, he's my Messi. Left here, mirror, mirror, signal left. Now here, there's a car coming. This is a meeting situation. There's no space. They have space on their side. Now they're stopping. So what do? Mirror, mirror, we take the advantage. There's another car coming. Okay, we see a gap on their side over there. So So we will stop just before the gap, so they could go into the gap. Mirror, mirror, and we go. Okay? Don't try to push the other car to stop. You find gaps. Either if the gap is on your side, you go in and you stick your nose out for them. And if the gap is on the opposite, then you stop before the gap. They could go in, and then you go. There is a video on my channel on this subject. I'll leave a link on the description for you to have a look, so you could understand more about the subject. But this is just to show you in practical how it's done in practice. So what position do you play, Afsar?
I play left winger, or I play striker up front.
Okay, obviously I know what position he plays. I gave him a question so you know. So what position do you play again, Afsar?
Left wing,
Okay.
or striker.
So what's your strong? I mean, which position do you prefer more?
I mainly play on the left wing. I don't really mind where I play, but I'm more comfortable in the left wing because I've been playing there more regular.
Okay. So who do you see yourself as? Any player that is similar to you? I don't know yet. Right here, mirror, mirror. Signal right. Go in. Here again. Parked cars on both sides. If there's a car coming, this would be a meeting situation. There's no one coming. There's gaps here. There's gaps over there. We could use those gaps. We go right here, mirror, mirror. Signal right. Can't see anything. I'll slow down, and I would edge forward to see if there's anyone coming. No one. Again here, you could be meeting if there's someone coming. If there's no one coming, drive in the middle. So you give them space on the left and give space on the right. So you drive in the middle and you're giving space to both sides. If there is someone coming, then obviously you would deal with that using the gaps. There is somebody coming now. Even though there's a car coming, you won't be meeting because we have our own space, they have their space. Meeting is where, like I said, where there's no space for two. Here, you will be meeting, kind of. Okay. We did have our space, very narrow space. We need roundabout, we'll go right. Car coming, there's no space. Sorry, there is space, so they won't be meeting. We'll go right, mirror, mirror, signal right. It's a meeting, sorry, a mini roundabout. No one coming from my right. I go around, signaling right. And as I'm coming off, mirror, mirror, I don't have to signal because it's a mini one. Even if you did, if you got time, it's fine. But because it's a mini one, as you're coming off, it's too small, there's no space, you don't have to signal. That's the thing about mini roundabout. Many learners, they get confused. Is that, do I have to signal? If you don't have time, it's too small, you don't have to. We're going to go right, mirror, mirror, signal right. Now this road, even though it's parked cars, if there is somebody coming, you won't be meeting because we have space for two cars. Remember, meeting is where there is no space for two cars on the same road. There's no meeting here because I have my own space, they have their own space. Roundabout, we go straight, mirror, slow the car. The van, is it going to go round? It's going to go straight, no signaling, so we go straight on. No signal coming off because there's no space. There's no car coming from our head. If there is, you will be meeting here because there is no space for two cars. Here we go parked cars on our side. There's a car coming. You won't be meeting because we have our own space. They have their own space. So, when is your next match, Afsar?
Next
Sunday.
Next Sunday.
So training on Friday.
Yeah.
Match on Sunday. So day off today.
Yeah. End of the day.
Go left here. Mirror, mirror. Signal left. driving here, I have to think where I position, so it has to be in the middle, giving them space. There's a car coming, that's meeting. Mirror, mirror. I go into the gap behind that car. Okay. And because my speed is too low, go to first gear. Mirror, mirror. Before I go, there's no one coming. Mirror again, second gear. At the end, we go left. Mirror, mirror. Signal left. The match was cancelled because, what was the reason, Afsar?
Cold pitch, frost, remember the pitch. Bad
It would have been a nice day actually. The match was on today. But because it's too cold and it's frost, it's cancelled. But it's a nice day. Would have been nice, wouldn't it? Mirror, mirror,
Yeah.
signal right. We go right here. Okay, there's a car coming, asking me to go. Look into the road, make sure there's no one there. Just because somebody lets you go, don't just go without looking. The road that you're going in, it has to be safe to go in. So if somebody lets you go when you're turning right, make sure you look into your road to see if it's safe to go in. Don't just go because they're asking you to go. I'm gonna go left, mirror, mirror, signal left. Road is narrow, so I'm gonna go really slowly in case someone coming, because here it will be meeting because there is no space for two cars. This is a great example where road is too tight and you're going to use the gaps if there is somebody coming. Again here, great example of meeting situation. If there is someone coming, looks like the van is waiting. I think there's someone coming, so he's waiting. Could be she. That's a meeting situation. The van is going, mirror, mirror, and I go. This road is very narrow. There is no space for two cars. So if there was somebody coming, just like the way we dealt with it, we have to wait, find the gaps, and let them go. Here, parked cars on both sides, but it's not meeting because I have my space, they have their space. We go right here, mirror, mirror. Signal right. There's a car coming from the opposite, so we wait for that car. There's now I have space before the other car, so I go in. Here on second gear. Again with this road here, it could be meeting if there's someone coming. Again here, if there is somebody coming, it will be meeting. There is a car, so what do? Go into the gap, stick my nose out, first gear, top and right mirror, and go. As soon as you stop, get the car prepared quickly so that you're not wasting any time. So go in and stick your nose out so that the car behind knows that you're not parking there. If you just keep it straight, they're going to think that you're parking. So when you go into the gap, it's important that you stick your nose out a little bit, so then the car behind knows that you're not going to park there. You are waiting here for the opposite car coming. This road, very wide, even though it's got parked cars on both sides, no problem, because even if there's somebody coming, you're not gonna have the problem of meeting because the road is wide enough for two cars. Now here, there's no space for two cars. There is a car coming. So the best thing to do is wait here until the other car or cars, quite a few coming. So this is meeting situation where parked cars on both sides, there is no space for two cars. Mirror, mirror, and I go. And as I drive in the middle and I wait if there is a car coming. If there is car coming, there is a gap on my side. There's also a gap on the other side. There's a car coming now. I look at the mirror and there is a gap on my side and on their side. So they're going now. I go straight. I have the priority. I come here and I wait because there's no space for me to go. Mirror, and I go. We go right in this crossroad. car coming. They're gonna go the other way. There's a car coming now. That's the meeting situation. I wait, stick my nose out, first gear, mirror, mirror, and I go. Okay, so how did I wait? I went into the gap and stick my nose out, meaning facing out a little bit, so the car behind knows that I'm not parking. It's really important you do that. Keep it straight, they're gonna think you're parking. Is there any more car coming? If there is, you will be meeting here. There's a car coming now. There's no space. I go in, stick my nose out. Don't go too close to the parked car either. First I wait. So I waited, not too close to the parked car, and stick my nose out. Mirror, mirror, and I go. Okay, gonna go left here. So meeting situation is where there is no space for two cars. Remember, if there is a car coming and there is no space, if you do go into your gap, you need to do three things. You go in, you don't go too close to the pavement, don't go too close to the parked car, and stick your nose out. Okay, there's a car coming. There is space for two cars. I'm just going to carry on going. So if you go too close to the parked car, if you go too close to the pavement when you're waiting, car behind is going to think you are parking. If you go too close to the parked car, you're not going to be able to see, your view is going to be restricted, and you need to stick your nose out so the car behind knows that you are not parking. Okay, so three things. One, don't go close to the pavement when you're waiting. Don't go close to the parked car. Make sure the distance is there. And also stick your nose out so the car behind knows. The reason we don't go too close to the pavement, so that the car behind knows that we are not parking. We don't want to go too close to the parked car when we wait, because our view is going to be restricted. We're not going to be able to see who's coming. And also we face out a little bit, so the car knows that we are waiting and not parking. Okay, so that's said for this video. I hope it helps. So just to conclude, the video was all about meeting situation, and the meeting is where there is no space for two cars. Why? Because parked cars, like I said, roadworks, bus, and because of that the road becomes narrow. So in that situation, who's got priority? No one's got priority. And like I said, there is a video on the channel on the subject. I will leave a link on the description, or maybe in a car somewhere here, you'll find the video to give you more understanding, because the video is all about the meeting situation. So watch the video if you haven't seen it already and you need more information, or you need to learn about the subject. It will give you more information. It will help you to understand the subject better. But this one just to show you in practice how we deal with it when we are driving. Many learners, like I said, they do fail on the subject is because either they don't understand, so when they are driving they keep on pushing the other cars to stop, and if you keep on pushing you will fail your test for that. The examiner needs to see how you deal with that. On those situations, who's got priority? No one's got priority. So who's going to give way? You're going to take the control and you're going to give way as you are trying to stop for them. And if they stop for you, it's a bonus. You carry on going, but you have to take the control and show the examiner that even if they don't stop, doesn't matter. I am preparing to stop, and as I'm trying to stop, if they stop for me, I'm going to carry on going. That way you can't go wrong. Otherwise you're both going to end up face each other and you're going to be stuck there. There could be cars behind you, there could be cars behind them. That will be a problem. So I hope this video gives you something about the subject. I hope you've learned something, and we thank our Afsar for being in the video with us. We wish him all the best for his next match. Okay, Afsar?
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything? No, okay.
Please subscribe.
Okay, do you want to say that?
Yeah, please subscribe to the channel and like the video.
And maybe share,
Yeah.
help others. Okay. You liking, sharing, subscribing, it helps the channel. And those of you who are supporting, we thank you, and keep supporting the channel. And we hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.